Hello YouTube! We will be doing sausages today. I do have 2 Boston butts or pork shoulders. We will be cutting them, we will be grinding them, mixing with spices and stuffing the casings. It's easy and it could be adjusted to any kind of preference of your taste. This will be just the base recipe, and again, you add some different flavors, you can call it different type of sausage. So let's get started. I wash the meat, I cut the copper muscles out. I do love capicola. If you would like to see how I'm doing it, you can always check my capicola video. Please like it, please subscribe it. Let's continue. Now regarding lean and fat meat ratio. Suggestion always is 2 parts lean, 1 part fat. What you're buying in the store usually it's half of the lean meat, half of the fat meat. That's allowed by USDA. So count what you're getting. Most of the time is half of the fat meat. But that's why to do at home is way better. Okay, meat is cut. What's next? Now I will be putting meat actually in the freezer for an hour or so, because before the grinding need to be very close to the freezing temperature. It just grinds better. That's a small trick, because if you will grind a cold meat, it will get all smushy and it will not look good, and it will not work even well when you will want to stuff into the casings. Just because it will be warm, it will be all smushy, it will not go through. So meat should be as cold as possible. Of course, not solid rock frozen. Meat is on the table from the freezer, equipment ready. I have prepared spices already on the side. I know the weight of the meat, so it will be a little bit easier and faster. Please don't try to speed up grinding process. It would tear meat apart, it would heat up the parts of the grinder, so you really don't want that. Please use a slow speed. It just takes a little bit longer, but the result is way better. Okay. So grinding is done. Let's move the things away. Because it is a lot of meat, it will be hard to mix, so I put part of it to the side. Now I will add my spices. I will mix it here and I will add slowly the meat. This way it will mix evenly. Of course, you could use meat mixer. I don't have it, and I prefer to do some things with hands. Now, what we will be using? Let's pull all of that a little bit closer. Of course, salt and pepper. That's definitely. So we're putting everything in. We can start to mix. What else we have here? Something this, something that. Italian seasoning and garlic. Again, proportions will be below in comments, so please verify. It will be based on the pound of meat. Of course, you can transfer that to kilograms if you want to. Paprika and chili powder. Chili powder would add a little bit of a flavor, but it's not as spicy. So it will be very nice mixture. For the spices, I would add pepper flakes. You can add as much as you want depending on the spice level, what you're looking for. Always remember, try. You don't need to mix so much meat. You can make 3 pounds, 4 pounds of meat, make sausages out of it, and then do whenever you like to. Always remember, if you do a little bit more, you can take that mixture of meat and freeze it. You don't need to stuff the sausages, you can freeze the meat, you can use it later. And again, it's not mandatory for sausages, you could do something else, like a patties or burger style, some kind of a, patty, and just grill it if you want to. So let me work on it. Now, I'm not trying to push it hard, I'm trying to mix it more. I'm tearing a part of meat and I'm just flipping it. Again, tearing and flipping it. I'm not trying to squeeze too much. This way it will not change the structure. Now, we will need a bun for the meat. I will be using mayo, depending what you want, but probably a good cup of mayo for the 12 pounds of meat would be perfect. If you will add a little bit more, nothing wrong. If you will add a little bit less, meat could start to fall when it cooks. It's just bond there. There are different things. I'm using mayo. It doesn't add any sweetness. It doesn't add any sourness like wine or vinegar. So let me work on the meats first. Then I will get mayo and we will continue. I forgot to add my own garden herbs mix. Something what was grown local here, and we froze it before the winter. It's actually March now. So if you do that, you can have your own herbs and you can make mixes ahead of the time. It's parsley, oregano, basil. You can choose whatever variety you want. Just mix it, freeze it, and you have it. And of course, you can then add to any of your products. As you see, it's a lot of them, but sausages just taste better a little bit with them. Actually, they taste a lot better with them. So now let's add mayo. It's not too much of it in here, but it will be, as I told you, a cup or so. And now mixing is done. What's next? Again, I do need to put meat in a freezer for a couple hours. Otherwise, the stuffing part will be very tough. As you see, meat is a little bit sticky. So what we need to do, we need to get it harder. This way it will stuff a little bit easier. Some people suggest to leave even close to overnight in the refrigerator to really cool it off. I think putting in a freezer for a couple hours definitely would be a little bit better, just because you can do your sausages faster. After that, we would need to leave it in a fridge for 12-24 hours to penetrate all the flavors which we mixed just now. So let me pack it, I'll put it in the freezer, and I'll see you soon when we will be stuffing sausages. So we're back. Plans changed a little bit. Sorry for the voice, I'm a little bit sick. Plans changed. Yesterday I was like under the weather not to stuff the sausages. So what I did, I put meat in the fridge. Today in the morning I repacked it and I put in a freezer. So now it's preparing to be like really cold. And what we will do, we will wash the casings. After that we will put them on the stuffing tool. Again, KitchenAid, everything's together. And we will continue the process. Meat will be ready, so physically I just will be working, and we will talk a little bit later, probably when sausages will be done and we will start some cooking. So everything's ready. Let's move a little bit closer. Now if you have a hard time to put the casings on, always remember you can use a little bit of an oil to oil the end of the stuffer. That will not be any kind of a problem for you in the future. It just will help you to put the casing on. Just to see, I portioned the meat. I put in a Ziploc. It's a little bit easier to put it in the fridge. You don't need the whole, in the freezer in this case. You don't need the whole pack. And if you would look closer, I don't know, you can or you cannot, but even the frost on the meat is already visible. So that's the best to work with. And here we finished the last piece. Now again, when you're doing it, watch out the quantity of the meat inside of the casings. You could do differently. You can do links, which you need to leave a little bit more space. Or you can make a little bit tougher. If you will be not doing links, you will be cooking like this. So this what came out of 12 pounds. Let's put it together, all of it. Let's move the equipment to the side. There is a little bit of the meat left. Well, I'll just make a patty. Now, if we want to do links, and I have one, you know what? This is the one of the last ones. It's not warm enough yet. It could break the casing. So if you will take a little bit older ones, you see I hopefully understand that you see the difference. The meat is already softened a little bit. It's not as frozen as it is in the freshly stuffed one. Now, when you do links, choose the size approximately, really doesn't matter. Usually I go by hand, and here it is. I can just turn it one way or another one. So, towards me, 1, 2, pinch, really doesn't matter from me. Again, you just do the next, hand, usually you do hand, pinch, I turn a little bit, and then hand, another pinch, done, next, hand, pinch, hand, well, that's it from me. And here it is, we have links. You can put them pretty much together. Always remember, if you have too many sausages or too many of them, you can just freeze them. In addition, if you see the air bubbles, use a pin and just make the holes, air will get out. I just have one here with the air bubble, other ones look okay. So let me continue with links. And that's how you have perfectly made, homemade sausages. And that's how it looks cooked. 1 hour in oven. Looks very nice. Of course, fat's melted. Let's move to the side a little bit. Let's put some plate. Still hot, but let's taste it.